for the last 1 year, when the NDIS review was appointed, there are multiple papers which have been published, leading up to the review, and post the publication of the NDIS review in December. There are a lot of conversations happening across the sector. Um, you know, what do you think are the key messages coming out of the NDIS review one, and which one of the implementation or recommendations would you want to talk about?
Gosh, I think there are a few really key things. One is the enshrining it in law.
Mm-hmm.
So I really like the idea of that.
Mm-hmm.
I rather like the idea of there being I'm trying to think of the name of it, the NDIS Supports Commission.
Yeah.
And that commission being given more power,
Mm-hmm.
more opportunity
Mm-hmm.
to guide
Mm-hmm.
and regulate within the system. I think that the regulatory system itself
Mm-hmm.
absolutely needs to be addressed. I think and the review, it has addressed this,
Mm-hmm.
and I understand that task force that's being headed by, is it Natalie
Wade.
Wade?
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the first things that they're going to be looking at.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there is an imbalance at the moment in terms of that the regulatory system, in terms of whether you're a provider registered or not, and what sort of, I guess, system you have to adhere to. I was reading somewhere that there's a notion of there being 4 levels going. I can't remember the 4 levels. It was, I think one was general, basic, network, and I think the first one might have been advanced, and that was determined with regards to who were the people that you were primarily working alongside, and what was their level of need, and that had a flavour of quality and safeguards, which I really liked. But I also think that within the system at the moment, whether you're a large provider or a sole operator, and you're wanting to be registered, you're having to adhere to and go through the same audit processes. And I think that that's very unfair. It's unnecessary. So there's that element. I think looking at staffing and who is working alongside people with disabilities in our communities. And I think that absolutely we need to have one system across the country that, the worker screening is, that it's quicker to apply for it, that it's transportable, so that you can move from one jurisdiction to another. I think that I was surprised to read that of the 150,000 odd registered providers,
Unregistered providers.
of unregistered providers.
Yeah.
Thanks, Steve. Yes, unregistered providers. Yeah, really important. Only about 6,000 of the people who were working alongside people with disabilities in those unregistered providers had gone through worker screening.
Wow.
So I feel that sort of that's indicating that there's opportunity for. I'm not saying that everyone's going to be doing the wrong thing, not by no stretch. However, that's an awful large number of people who may not be the best people to be working alongside people with disabilities. And I understand that it was reported that there had been some people who they'd gone to become an unregistered provider because they could not get worker screening. So I think that's not good.